Hello, I'm Don Peppers, and welcome back to Peppers Unplugged. Have you noticed that people use Twitter now to complain? Yeah, if you look at the Twitter sphere, what you'll find is that if people have a complaint about a product or a service, they launch it into the Twitter sphere, and that's where companies intercept those complaints. The reason they don't call the call center is A, you can't talk to a human being. B, the person you do talk to, if you talk to anybody, doesn't have the power to do anything, can't do anything. You can't be sure that they forward the complaint even. But forward-thinking companies are, in fact, monitoring social media, including the Twitter sphere. The other day, we had a couple friends over for dinner, and Tim, the husband, told us a really interesting story. He said that he'd taken his kids out for takeout food. They picked up some takeout food and brought it back home to eat it. I'm not going to tell you the name of the company because it would be malicious on my part to give them to name the brand. But basically, he's eating the food and he crunches down on something and he pulls it out, and in the food was a staple. Now, he said, luckily, the staple was closed. It looked like it had already, it was a closed staple, so he didn't. And luckily, it was him and not his children that found the staple. But so what did he do? Tim called the president of the company. He called the president's office and got an answering machine, and he left a message. I found a staple in your food. No reply. Second day, no reply. Third day, no reply. But then his wife, Becky, who is an ad agency creative director, we know very well, and is a Twitterati like me. She heard the story from Tim, and she said, you know what, I'm going to tweet about this. So she tweeted about it using the company's name. And she said within a half an hour, she had a direct message from the, a reply from the company, and asking what they could do and what was the actual situation. Could she give them more details? And they took it offline. She did some direct messaging back and forth in an email. The company maintained that they don't even have staples on their premises, so the staple had to have come in with one of the suppliers, and now they're looking to try to figure that out. The point is, if you call and leave a complaint on the voicemail of the president of the company, you don't get a reply. No one calls you. No one talks to you. But if you go on Twitter, you're going to get noticed. You know why? Because all your friends hear the complaint on Twitter, and a company finds it in its interest to make sure that those complaints are addressed more appropriately.